Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Pokemon, the podcast where we talk about everything and anything Pokemon. And Pokemon Play is finally back, ladies and gentlemen. If you are looking to get into some serious in real life Pokemon competitions, you still got to wait till March. But hey, at least they have set dates to come back in full force. They have regional dates, I believe. We're going to go look through this on the Pokebeach article. But it's just so exciting that this was like one of the biggest announcements over the last week that we finally get IRL in real life Pokemon tournaments. The VGC, the TCG, as well as Pokemon Tournament is coming into Worlds. So there's a lot to look forward to. Pokemon Go is now part of it, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if I have much to say on it or if I have any really valid thoughts on it, considering that I don't play a lot of Pokemon Go Battle League, but we'll talk about that later. And what else is happening? We got new TCG set kind of announced, or at least a new mechanic that's coming out next year. And that's pretty much what we're just going to focus on just for that. I am still behind on a lot of stuff, but like as I mentioned last week, I don't want to spend episodes just trying to play catch up. I just want to kind of spend these kind of next few episodes or next couple episodes on the bigger topics, the bigger things. That way it kind of keeps the episodes a little bit shorter and more concise and not feeling like I have to update on every single thing per se. Obviously, in my first year of doing this, I still kind of want to experiment and try to figure out a better way to go about this podcast, as opposed to just, shouting out updates just like most other podcasts do. I know there's some that are TCG focused, there are some that are VGC focused, and some that are just kind of in general Pokemon news. But I obviously don't want to follow those exact same suits. So I am still trying to find my legs, my bearings, whatever that phrase is. I'm sure you can figure out what it is I'm trying to say. But let's move on to talking about let's talk about the V-Star mechanic first. I think we'll start with that and then work our way into the Pokemon Play announcement. So Pokemon V-Star mechanic was announced earlier this week, just a few days ago, and it was kind of headlined by the Arceus V-Star. Now, side note, I don't know who pronounces what properly, Arceus. I think I'd rather pronounce it Arceus for now. So if you don't, hold me to this. I don't know what the proper pronunciation all of this is. So I know there's a lot of debate behind how to pronounce Arceus, but I think we've already spent enough time on it already. So sorry if it makes you cringe every time I say Arceus, but I'm just going to warn you, I'm sticking to that. According to Pokebeach, Arceus V-Star and the upcoming V-Star mechanic have officially been revealed by Creatures in TPCI. A Pokemon V-Star evolves from a Pokemon V. It gives up 2 prize cards and features a special Pokemon ability called a V-Star Power, which is very similar to a GX attack from the Pokemon GX mechanic. A V-Star card has a texture, golden highlights on its text boxes, and behind its V-Star Power you can see an actual star. They debuted Arceus V and Arceus V-Star, and the set symbol features Arceus's they call it mandala? I did not know there was a proper term for that. The ring around Arceus. It's just that's what Pokebeach has here. It's pronounced or called mandala. The trademark was it? They found the trademark like a year ago. They knew this V-Star thing was happening, but now we kind of finally see its fruition. We finally see what it's all about. And at first glance, let me just tell you, the cards are beautiful. The cards, I don't understand why we have so many full art of certain cards when the ultra rare itself, the regular standard art for the V card itself, most of the time, those cards look beautiful on their own and should just be left alone. Or maybe that design should just be the full art. Or, and just get rid of the standard and make the full arts the standard at this point. Because if you look at the Arceus and Arceus V-Star, there is nothing wrong with those cards. There's nothing wrong with the designs of the cards. It's bright. There's so many colors to it. The poses, you can kind of get a lot of, I don't want to say emotion, but there's a lot of power behind the way that it's just drawn out. these are really cool looking cards alone just for like collector's sake. So I'm very curious what the full art is going to look like. Now let's also keep in mind that this is probably also due to the fact that Legends of Arceus is being released in February. Right? Is it February? January, February? Oh my gosh, it's one of the January. I believe it's to the end of January. So this is probably going to be kind of aligned with that. I don't know if we have an official release date for this. So if anything, it'll probably release in February, just after the game, like about a month after the game comes out, because that game will still be on people's mind. So this kind of, the timing makes sense. The Arceus V card itself. So if we go through it, double colorless energy, Trinity charge. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. This is awesome. This is really good energy acceleration for a TCG deck. I'm just trying to use my past experience and just like looking at this. Although I am not sure if a double colorless energy is even in standard rotation. I don't believe it is, but still 2 energy cards may not be that difficult. There are a couple of cards, maybe there's just one that does offer some energy acceleration, and considering that it is a colorless energy, then you can kind of tech this in with any typing, right? You can tech this in with water, with fire, steel, whatever deck you're playing with, whatever you're focusing on, you can easily just add this to it. The attack itself is only 130 damage, power edge. It's an attack cost of 3 colorless energy. So I don't know how often that would be used. You're basically two-shotting some things, but let's look at the Arceus V Star and see maybe that's more worth the investment there. Arceus V Star, not much difference in the HP, because the Arceus V has 220, Arceus V Star has 280, so it's not as broken as probably, I think if it had the HP of like a VMAX, then it'll probably be a broken card because it would just be too powerful. Considering that it's got an attack that can only be used once, and giving it more HP, it just seems a little probably absurd for just balance sake. It has Trinity Nova, which is the same cost as Power Edge, 3 colorless energy, but this time it does 200 damage, and you get to search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. So it kind of combines both attacks of Arceus V into one. Now it's V Star power. Its ability, well, this is weird. So it says ability, but you can only use it once. So I'm not quite sure how clear it is. Well, I think it says it in the instruction itself. During your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 V-Star power in a game. So as soon as you use this ability, then that is it. However, strategically, this could be a game-winning move, or it could give you a significant boost at the beginning of your turn. To be able to search your deck for up to any 2 cards, there's a lot of power behind that. And the fact that it doesn't end your turn either, you could immediately play those cards. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be played in many decks. I say that too early, maybe, because what we've seen is time and time again, whenever they announce like the first set of cards for a TCG set, we automatically go like, oh, this is broken. Like, this looks powerful. But within that same set or the set right after, it just has cards that are more powerful than the first ones we've seen, and we're like, that's not going to be played as much. So then we just kind of skip the first set and go to the next one. So right now, this looks too good to be true. I'm curious if the V-Star powers are all abilities like this, like you can only use 1 ability of this card per game, or if there's some of them are going to be actual attacks, like GX attacks. So I don't know. It's something obviously to make sure that your eyes are on. Obviously, with the rest of the V-Star cards coming out, we'll get a better idea of what maybe the meta will require going forward. But already, like I said before, this is automatically teching into any deck. Like the fact you can search for any 2 cards, you can accelerate energy. This is worth it. This is going to be worth it. So save your money for this set. I think this is going to be very promising, or at least it has a strong start to be very promising. Okay, now we also had another I don't know if it's really a mechanic per se, but I'm just going to bring it up really quick. We had another set or a trademark that was kind of revealed called VMAX Climax, which actually brings back character cards. So if you had remember, I think this was back during Unified Minds or Cosmic Eclipse, or maybe both sets. We had these Pokemon cards that featured a full art of the trainer and a Pokemon. So we had Red, that was going up to some Pokeballs, and one of them was Pikachu in it. We had Coughing with Roxanne, I believe. Then we also had Jasmine with Steelix. You get the idea. They were very, very cool cards. They kind of were put into the rare slot, kind of like how breaks were back in the day during the X and Y era. And they were heavily sought after, although it was kind of easy to get them for quite a while. Now I think the one with the Red and Pikachu has kind of gone up just because of the whole scalping situation. But they are beautiful cards. There is just a lot to look forward to, though, in the TCG coming 2022, right? We got these. We've got this special, I think there's like a new set that just kind of was teased or said to be released in alignment with the Pokemon Day next year. We have Fusion Strike coming out. We still got Pokemon Celebrations that people are still trying to get, right? Trying to pull that Charizard, that shiny Mew. TCG has not died down for a while. I mean, people want to say that maybe Battle Styles was not the greatest set, but I think Battle Styles was like in this weird place where it just kind of came off this like scalper high where, all the cards were hard to get. People wanted Shining Fates. People wanted, the Gigantamax, Pikachu from Vivid Voltage, and Battle Styles didn't offer a Pikachu or Charizard. But I would like to say that, at least it offered some alt art, I believe. Like, there was some alternate art that was worth getting. I remember the Apollyon off the top of my head, and the Tyranitar. Like, those were good alt art cards that I think people really wanted to get. So it's weird that Battle Styles doesn't get enough credit. I mean, people were really excited for Chilling Reign because of, I guess, competitively because of the Calyrex cards, as well as the Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, the Galarian Trio. So there was, I guess, more Pokemon that were more exciting. Urshifu maybe just didn't have that high of a popularity. But I don't know. I beg to differ. I disagree that Battle Styles, I think, still was a good set. I don't think there has been a bad set since Steam Siege, maybe. Otherwise, like, every TCG set is always exciting. I mean, the cards are still selling out, whether it's because of scalpers or whatever. I mean, it's still popular. People still want them. So, like I said, TCG is not going to die down. Like, Pokemon has got a good handle on it. All right, now let's get on to the big news, the big topic, which is Play Pokemon. Now, this is coming off of Pokebeach. They have provided the press release from Pokemon here on their site. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of read off of that. I'll probably read verbatim a good portion of this, and then I'll just kind of outline some of the dates and locations of the events that they have already listed here. The press release begins with saying, the Pokemon Company International announced today that highly anticipated Play Pokemon Regional and International Championships will resume in North America and Europe, with the first event slated to kick off in March 2022. The Play Pokemon 2022 Championship Series season, leading to the 2022 Pokemon World Championships, planned to take place in London in August, you guessed it, 2022, will include 4 different Pokemon products: the Pokemon Trading Card Game, Pokemon Video Games, Pokemon Tournament DX, and, for the first time, Pokemon Go in partnership with Niantic. Now, they've outlined a lot of the dates and locations already. So as far as the international championships in North America, it will be on June 24th to the 26th in Columbus, Ohio. And the Europe International Championships will be on April 22nd through the 24th in Germany. Now, as far as the regional championships and special events in North America, they have 6 locations listed here. March 18th through the 20th, Salt Lake City, Utah. April 1st through the 3rd, Orlando, Florida. May 6th through the 8th, Indianapolis, Indiana. May 20th through the 22nd, Secaucus, New Jersey. May 27th through the 29th, Vancouver, Canada. And June 17th through the 19th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And in Europe, March 26th through the 27th, Liverpool, UK. May 7th through the 8th, Bilbao, Spain. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And June 4th through the 5th, Milan, Italy. Additional regional championships and special events may be announced later. Okay, so they might still have some locations popping up. We'll get to that probably a little bit here. Pokemon Go competitions will be open to senior and master's age divisions and will follow the Great League format. Placing highly at Pokemon Go competitions will earn players prize money, and top players will earn invitations to compete at the 2022 Pokemon World Championships in London in August 2022. More information on the Pokemon Go competitive series can be found on their site. And the last thing I kind of want to read here: the health and safety of the competitive play communities continue to be the most important aspects of resuming live play Pokemon events. The situation is being continually monitored, and the timing for the commencement of in-person play Pokemon events will be determined by the health mandates, guidelines, and recommendations provided by appropriate government agencies. Once in-person events resume, all competitors, vendors, staff, and spectators must comply with the Pokemon Company International's COVID-19 policy to ensure the health and safety of all attendees. Okay. First thing I want to point out was the last thing I just read, because it's extremely important. We have to understand first and foremost that not all locations are vastly improved, right? We are starting here. Cases are going down. Woohoo, right? Victory for us. But we're also there are some places that are better off than others. There are some places that have strict mandates about masks. There are some places that are still on lockdown or still quarantined, whatever. It's not 100% all around the world. And so it was very important for Pokemon to come out and say that they are still continuing to monitor stuff, because if necessary, they may have to shut down Pokemon Play again. Now, that may not be the case, because like I said, things are improving. But if they ever make that announcement, if they have to, it's okay to be disappointed. But let's not get angry over the top, how could they do this kind of thing? No, they care about our health. Health and our safety is first. That is number one priority. Actually, everyone's number one priority. So kudos to them for still kind of putting that out there and making sure that we also follow their COVID-19 policies. They have very strict guidelines, and they want to make sure that that's being reinforced, so that way they continue to play or continue to resume their play Pokemon events in a safe manner. So this is a plus, though. Very good. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page with that. Now, the other things here, the locations, I don't know. I'm not sure how common this is for how many events there are in a year. I know we usually have 4 international championships, I think 3 or 4 in a year. This time there's only 2. Kind of makes sense. Really focusing on just North America and Europe. So I guess that might go to show you that there are other those other areas are really not ready just yet. But what I also wanted to bring up was that this is going to, I'm assuming, right? I'm under the assumption that since the pandemic, interest in the TCG and VGC has significantly increased. So these events are going to see huge turnouts. These events are going to have a vast, a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Quite a proportion to see of new players and, veteran players. If they've been playing the TCG continuing online or even playing VGC, they may have, I don't know. I just worry that there's this attitude of, I've been playing so long, you're a newbie, you have no idea what you're doing, you probably haven't really learned how to play the game. I am going to dominate this competition, easy money, and then that's it. We're going to end it at that. I really hope that that's not the case, right? That's the super end of the spectrum there, of the negative side of stuff. But I really hope that on the positive side of things, that this is going to create such huge lasting memories and friendships, because this is going to be a golden opportunity for some networking and making new friends from different places, and kind of acting as mentors to maybe certain mentees that are brand new to the game and just like kind of want to learn and get better. And, there's some humbleness or humility to people. And, if you've been number one this whole time, like you're a top, player, that you kind of look to take on a protege, or apprentice of some kind, or, just kind of offer some advice, give some help. Like this is the golden opportunity for Pokemon to show off what it's always been good for, like what it's always been reputable for, is like creating these friendships and communicating with one another and making these connections and making these memories and just having a blast playing Pokemon and getting to know each other. So this is promising. This is what I'm looking forward to when these Play Pokemon events return. And I, like I said, like this has been a long time coming. We've been very much waiting for when they were going to do this. We finally got it. Hopefully places around the world don't screw it up for us, because we don't want this to go away. And for me personally, I kind of want to try out maybe one of these events. There is one of these locations that's kind of where I am. And I want to maybe, I don't know, I have to check my work schedule and see if I can spare the weekend to hang out at a regional championship. I've been trying to build a deck for the TCG, just kind of like a fun one for me to play around with. It's like a Blastoise VMAX deck. I don't have all the cards yet, but I just wanted something casual and something that was going to interest me, so that I can kind of get back into the groove of playing again and learn how to play the cards competitively again, and maybe now from there learn how to build a much more solid, consistent deck, or at least learn how to build consistent decks, and maybe compete. I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I want to see if that's something I can actually accomplish. I got a lot of personal stuff that I got to take care of, school, work, and all that stuff, but it's still quite a ways. I still got some time to kind of make that decision, so we'll see what happens there. But this is exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. I know you guys are probably too, and hopefully you guys get to your opportunity. Maybe this whole time you've been learning how to get better at the VGC. Now this is your chance to kind of show what you've learned and compete and see how well you do. Okay, other than that, I guess before we go on to the Pokedex Trivia of the day, one last bit of news. We don't have to go into a huge discussion about this yet, but I just thought it was really, really, really cool. The past week, Pokemon has, they first started out this event or announcement with a kind of found footage reel that he posted on Twitter, where it's like a professor going through like the snowy part of the Hisuian region, and like we couldn't see clearly what was going on. Like the footage was like old VHS school tape style, like it was messed with. It was all like staticky and stuff like that, so we didn't know what was going on. All we heard was audio. Then like 2 days after, they finally have the clear audio. Professor Oak helped apparently clear the tape recording or whatever. And it was a professor walking through, like I said, the snowy parts of Hisuian region, and encountered a Hisuian Zorua and Zoroark. First thing I want to say, beautiful designs. The color, the white red to it, just amazing. Like this, I was not really a fan of Zorua or Zoroark, but I'm a fan of Hisuian Zorua and Hisuian Zoroark. Like they are the most amazing Pokemon designs that I think that exist at this point. Like they are automatically number one. I think if I want to play Arceus, gotta have it on my team. Like it just looks awesome. In addition to just looking awesome, their typing is so unique and interesting that it just makes it even cooler. It is a normal ghost type. We have not had a normal ghost type Pokemon at all yet. And it doesn't even make sense for it to be a normal ghost type, because ghost types aren't affected by normal or fighting attacks. So does this mean that it is now affected by normal ghost and fighting attacks, or is it not? Like it's such a weird combo that I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to work. And is it really a ghost Pokemon? Because from the video, I kind of made it seem like it was still more of like an illusionist, but it kind of had like this kind of creepy, like I'm gonna use a Spider-Man villain here, like Mysterio type of vibe to it, where it uses the illusions to scare off people, and maybe that's why it's gaining its ghost typing, that it has that natural ability to make these illusions or make these like effects or whatnot. I mean, it kind of still goes in line with Zoroark. Zoroark is the illusion Pokemon, or has illusion in its description of some kind, so it still fits. So I don't know. I'm curious. I just don't know what to think of this normal ghost type. Like, I think it only has one weakness then at this point, which would be dark. Dark would be the only one that would hit super effective for it. As far as what it hits, I don't know what kind of attacks it can learn. Normal's pretty neutral. Like, there's no weakness. Well, it's weak to fighting, but again, it's ghost. So is it ineffective? Like, so many questions with this, but it's so cool. I'm wondering if it's going to be an easy Pokemon to get or a like late game Pokemon to get. I'm not quite exactly sure. They haven't revealed too much about it, but it was really cool. It was really awesome. If you haven't checked it out, go do so. It's really short. It's like a 2-minute video, but it is such a cool Pokemon design. It's all over the internet anyway. I'm sure you've already seen it, but yeah, it's, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to play with that Pokemon and see how it works out. All right, now we get to the end. Wrapping it up. Let's go ahead and just get to the Pokedex Trivia, call it a day, and wait for more Pokemon news. Here we go. The Pokedex Trivia, where I read to you a Pokedex entry from any of the Pokemon games for a particular Pokemon that you are going to have to guess. Now, I do not tell you from what game it's from. You are just going to have to go off by some of the hints that I try to give you. I try not to do too many or too obvious hints, so that way it doesn't give it away. And then after that, once I reveal it, we'll talk about some of the trivia, if there is any trivia. All of this, of course, comes from Bulbapedia, just to kind of clarify and make sure everyone remembers that. If you are set, then let's go ahead with the Pokedex Trivia. It states, it coats its entire body with a slimy fluid, so it can squirm and slip away if grabbed. All right. This Pokemon is a dual type. It has the hidden ability Hydration, and it has only 3 colors to its design, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Black, gray, and blue. Very simple design. I'm trying to think. It's 1 foot 4 inches. It's in the water 2 egg group. So there's one of the typings there for you. And I don't know how much more I can give away. It was introduced in Generation 3. All right, I think that's enough hints. I'm going to read the Pokedex entry one more time, and then we'll reveal who it is. It coats its entire body with a slimy fluid, so it can squirm and slip away if grabbed. All right, without further ado, the answer is none other than number 339, Barboach. Barboach is the Pokemon of the episode. Very, like, the design itself is very bland. I like Wishcash. When we get to Wishcash, we can talk more about it. But I like Wishcash definitely way more than Barboach. Barboach is just very boring. I don't even know, like, the face is just weird, too. It's a water ground type, has the abilities Oblivious or Anticipation, and then, like I said, its hidden ability is Hydration. As far as trivia, let's see what Bulbapedia has. Only one thing. Only one thing of trivia. Barboach and Wishcash, Wizcash, that's hard to say, are the only dual-type water-ground Pokemon who are not in the Water 1 egg group. Okay, that means nothing to anybody unless, of course, you're breeding for Wizcash or Barboach, but, I mean, who really is at this point? Yeah, just as much as its design, not much else to say about it. I barely even remember the shiny form to this Pokemon. Now that I think about it, I guess I could try to look up the shiny here really quick. I kind of, like, I've grown to like Whiscash because of Pokemon Go, but, like, I'm never really excited to catch Barboach. Oh, actually, its shiny is pretty neat. Well, at least according to Cerebi. Its shiny is kind of like a gold. That makes it look cooler. more cool. Yeah, definitely cooler than the blue. The Wish Cash shiny is a little but the Barboach, not bad at all. Okay, well, there you go. There you have it. And that wraps up our episode. Talked about V-Star, talked about V-Max Climax, talked about Pokemon Play, talked about Hisuian, Zorua, and Zoroark. Lots of cool stuff that Pokemon announced this last week. Very exciting stuff. Definitely more to come. We are kind of getting ready for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl game coming out in a couple of weeks. No, a month. We're about a month away, I think. Then, that reminds me. You got to watch out for that Switch Lite, the Diamond and Pearl Switch Lite that's coming out. It hasn't been up for pre-order, not that I remember. But anyway, enough of that. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SpartanStrike07. Also on a YouTube channel, although it's just these podcast episodes that are being uploaded there for the time being, that would still be at SpartanStrike07. And I want to add a cool feature that is fairly new. And I appreciate those that actually participated on. If you're listening to this on Spotify, if you look in the show notes, you will see that I have posted a question and a poll. So these are new features that have been added, at least when I go on Anchor. Like, I can add these things and it gets uploaded to Spotify. At least it says only Spotify. And yeah, I thank you to those that voted in the poll, because I put in the last episode, like, what were your thoughts on Secrets of the Jungle movie that was on Netflix. I put like okay, or no, it was like loved it, man, it was terrible, and most of you guys voted that it was great, that you loved it. I guess I was the only one of that kind of opinion, because I said it was okay. But yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. And don't forget to answer to the question. Maybe I'll start reading the replies to that on the episode. I think that'll be a fun interactive way to kind of get to know some of you guys, to kind of interact with you guys through a podcast method. Like, I think those are really cool. I think those are neat. The only problem is, like, you have to make sure, right, as a podcaster, you have to tell people, like, hey, don't forget to check out the show notes and vote to this poll or answer this question. That'll be the only thing. It's kind of turning YouTube-ish, kind of, where you have to tell people to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate to those that participated. And if you're listening to this, participate in today's poll and question. At this time of recording, I have not thought about it, although I have an idea of what I want to ask. But hey, go check it out and let me know what you think. And if you put in a reply, I'll probably read some of the replies or all the replies, depending on how many there are in the next episode. And I'm really looking forward to that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of the week. Until next time, so we can continue talking about everything and anything Pokemon.